Okie dokie, cracking the whips. Time for progress reports, I guess. I may well be missing something. If you know that I am, or let me know down below. At the end of my little segment, it'll be over to you guys, and I will be sharing what people have shared with us to make public, to show their whips, and a couple of little foes in there as well. But first, so the first one is the Primavera shawl that I'm doing for my quiet crochet on Thursdays. Now, I did put a hanky marker. So I've only done 4 rows since the last cracking the whips. But that will be a lot further on by the next time that I show you. And this is made with shawl in a ball, mystical, oh my gosh, mystical magic. Oh heck, mystical mirage. I say it so often in the video, and I just, yeah, I keep forgetting. So we have pinks and blues and creams and purples, and all the way through it is a kind of a fuchsia pink glitz. That is a paid pattern by Elizabeth Davis de Jerez. But yeah, progress so far, it's been 3 weeks. So we've got 4 rows, and yes, it'll be more next time. So that is the Primavera shawl. If I will be naming the items down below, unless otherwise given links to patterns when it comes to other people. If there's something that you're really liking the look of and it hasn't been linked down below, send me an email. I will get hold of the person that the whip belongs to and say, could you show me where you got the pattern or who's it by? And I will endeavour to get you a linky doodab. Anywho, so that's whip number 1. Whip number 2 is something that we're doing with the Bug Brigade, the members. We are making Cozy with Cables. It's a cushion. And of course the sun comes out just when I don't want it to. But you'll see better versions of this because some of the members have shared. So that's where we're up to so far. And I am using Drops Alaska, which is 100% wool, and I think the colour's silver, I think. But anyway, this is so far, so good. Next, I will show you the poncho. Now, the poncho is a free pattern, just free and easy. I can't remember if it actually has a name. If so, it's down below anyway. But I left a stitch marker on where you guys last saw it, which was just there, and since then we have finished the lacing, and we've got lacy shells all up the side. Now the thing is with this, it is finished, but it's not finished, but it's finished. So there it is, and it's made using Scarfie in navy and grey. I think is the colouring. So your little head pops out there, and up here there is going to be buttons. Now this is why it's finished, but it's not finished. It is finished. It's all sewn together. All the lacing is completely done. The only thing we've got to do is add the buttons on, which will be going 1, 2, 3, 4 along that edge, and that will kind of sit down on the arm. But that is the poncho, so next time I show you it, it will be finished with the buttons. So going from where you saw last time, it's finished. Just got to wait for Miss Ingrid now. So we should be finishing Wednesday. The next whip that I have is the Cozy Cat Basket, which is a paid pattern. This is not going to be the best way to show you at all, but because it's all, ta-da, it's all bunched up still, but it is a height of about 4 inches. It's round. It's more like a hexagon to me, but it's round. All I've got to do on this, and this will be finished this weekend, is put 2 little ears on it and some whiskers, and then that is finished. And then Beany can look at it and go, because that's what Beany does. And I am using worsted 3 together. It's Signet. It's a 6.5mm hook. So it's Signet Aran or Deluxe Signet Aran, which is acrylic in the colour black. Actually, it's Superior acrylic. I apologise. Superior. Deluxe Superior, because Beany's worth it. So that has been a really, really, really easy pattern to do. Really easy. Very glad that I've managed to work it up fairly quickly, because I've done it in approximately a week. You know, and that's like, if I sat down to do it, in all it'd take me just over a day to do. But you know, in the past week I've come to it, done a few rounds, gone away. Come to it the next day, done a few rounds, gone away, you know. But I'm quite chuffed that that's nearly finished. Faux wise, the only faux that I've got for you really, apart from the poncho, which it's done. I did a tutorial on a amigurumi heart. Well, I made myself one as well because I wanted one. And the one that I made for the tutorial, I actually gave to my Postal lady, because she's just started crochet and her daughter wants her to make amigurumis, and she came and knocked on the door on Valentine's Day, and I was like, do you know what? It's a good excuse to get rid of the pink. Ta-da! But I made myself a blue one. I mean, of course, what else would I make? It'd be a blue one. So they are my whips, a faux and a half. And the other 2 faux that I've made, which I haven't got to hand, I will put on the screen. And that is a scarf and hat set that I have passed over to my pharmaceutical delivery man. He is a big fan of blue, and it's about to become pretty cold, and I've seen him in a couple of different hats, but pretty boring. So I wanted to make him a hat and scarf. The hat is Crystal at Bagu de Crochet. It's her chocolate bonbon hat. And the scarf, the Fairbrook scarf, which is also a free pattern. Really nice and easy to follow. because it is double crochets and the odd front post double crochet, but I thought it worked up nice. And yes, of course, I added my tag to it. Of course I did. Anyhow, that's that. Past foes, I'm going to show you two. I'm wearing one of them. I'll show you the other one as well. Well, I'll show you both of them and me doing a, let's pretend to be a model, but not really. Ha ha. So the first one is my, what I call my Karen Cuddle Cloud Cardi. It's the Cuddle as a cloud as a cuddle. I can't even remember the flipping pattern name. It's a paid for pattern. It's down below. I made lots of personal adjustments on this. I left slits up the side. I added pockets. I added a belt. The front lapels I actually made into a roll neck at the top. And the arms were personalised as well, because I made the arms a different way to the way the pattern was showing, with the help of Yarn Geek. I really hope I link Ginger down below. I really hope I do, because I've mentioned her. So there were lots of different adjustments on this, but it is so flipping long. And that's all because of my subscribers. Ha 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 ha. I asked you guys on a Monday, at the time, on a Monday, should I make this start a little bit longer, or do you think that's going to be enough? And everybody said do it longer, because, you know, I'm fat and it needs to get over me flab. And I did it a little bit longer. And yes, that's it, that's where you want it, okay, and that's how it turned out. So it's actually more of an indoor cardi. It's mainly now used for outside, because it is very warm, and it was made using 100% acrylic. And for the life of me, I can't think now what on earth it was made by, but I'm sure Karen has a great mind and she'll probably remember. I cannot remember. I just know it's made with chunky. That's all I can remember. How bad am I? Okay. And the next cardi was made using Hobie's Lima wool, 100% wool. It's already bubbling so bad, and I've only worn it a couple of times. I recently added pockets to it with the last remaining skein that I had. Don't need anything massively deep, just little pockets is perfectly fine. I enjoyed making this pattern as well. The pattern is the Kaylee cardigan, or the Kaylee cardi, which is a paid pattern as well. Adjustments for myself is just the pockets. So that's that. You've had my whips, you've had my current faux, you've had two old faux, and now it's over to you guys. First up, we have Miss.Snaily, well, Crafty Snail Mum. She has made the Cami Cardi by TY Yarn Crafts, and she used the Emu Chunky and a 10mm hook, followed by her first ever shawl make, which is the Turbulent Skies by Spring the Fibre Enthusiast, and she used 4-ply and a 4mm hook. Bubbles Blanket, which is a pattern by Hooked by Robin, using Emu DK for the colour work, and the white is using Starcraft Special DK, and she's making it big enough for her daughter's bed, which is a single. Now the cardigan, Unfortunately, she's struggling with the pattern because it's badly written, unfortunately, but it's by an Etsy seller, Monkey See, Monkey Do. She's making the odd adjustments here and there to try and compensate, and using the Stylecraft Aran in green and a 6mm hook. Next we have Miss Zara. Zara has been making the Honeycomb Aran by Yarnspirations, which is a knitted pattern, and she's been using 5mm needles, a worsted weight in 100% acrylic in a nice light blue shade. She has also been doing the members Cal in a Pound of Love and 5mm hook, and the members Cal is the Cozy with Cables paid pattern by Victoria Caris. From here on out, when you hear me say the members Cal, this is what it's referring to. Also, a pair of vanilla socks in 50% merino, 50% lyocell, and 2.5mm DP ends. And then we have a shawl that she has started, which is a Bag O' Day crochet pattern number 567, Blue Sensation. She is using Hobie Dahlia and 4.25mm hook. Next we have Amarina, Amarina's Crochet and Tell. This is her own pattern for a top, and she is using facets in the colour Flame. Sharon Sutcliffe. Yes, she's on the bandwagon with Sophie's Universe, and she's using Scapier's Colour Crafter and a 3 and a 3.5mm hook. And yes, we have fur bombers too. Lisa Dragon Bee Crochet. Her own design hexagon sweater made with a cotton angel cake. Her very first sock using rainbow cotton by Hobie. It's the Twisted Heel sock by Distinctive Crochet. The cloud cake is making the Lark's Foot wrap, which is actually the pattern on the ball band. And the Simple Lines Hobie twister, which she is adjusting a couple of the stitches just to tweak it and personalise it a little bit. Also making a corner to corner granny square summer top, which I think she's now turned into a faux. And lastly, the Edrionic wrap ready for assembly, 6 foot from tip to tip, pattern by onedogwolf.com. Angela Wright is currently making a scrappy blanket, so when you see her around the YouTube streets and you see that she's making a scrappy blanket, now you can see the scrappy blanket. Lucy is doing the members Cal, the Cozy with Cables, a corner to corner by The Secret Yarnery, and the granny is Hooked by Robin's pattern, and all are made with worsted acrylic. Doris, Miss Doris Artman. This granny is her oldest whip. She's been going on with this whip since she was 14. She's been picking it up, then putting it down for years, picking it back up again. She's refound it, and her daughter is desperate for her to make it into a blanket for her. The next one is a bright corner to corner blanket that she's making for her son, who is already in love with it. And the next 2 corner to corner squares are to make a blessings blanket, and she's using all the favourite colours of her favourite people to make it. Then she has a blue scarf in the making to match a blue hat that she has made for her father, who is currently fighting cancer. Perp also making the members cowl in Signet Sing Aaron in light grey. And she has many grannies. 36 mini grannies, all being made into 9 round squares, hopefully to make a 6x6 lapgan. And she's using DK and a 4mm hook. Karen has made a hat by Julia Schwartz called Crags and Cusps. She used Impeccable in true grey and a 4.5mm, not a, 4.5mm needles. And then she has made the Espas throw by debrosse.com in Red Heart Ombre light pink and a 5mm hook. And yes, there's another fuzz bomber with steel, showing that grey really does go quite well with pink. Ta-da! And we're done. Thank you so much for you guys who have shared. Down below, let's get some comments on which whip you're looking forward to seeing as a faux, or which faux you've seen that you really like. Or is there anything that has inspired you and made you go, I want that, I think that in a different colour would be brilliant, etc. There you go, there you have it. So we've been here a little while, I better clear off. This was cracking the whips, and hopefully you guys will crack yours. Bring on the foes.